Just mush. Absolute mush. Okay, so here I am at an old customer's house. We did this job back in 2006, so it's been quite a while. The homeowner bought a kit. I said I would install it. As far as I remember, I followed the directions. So I'm really interested to see what actually happened to the shower. The floor was real spongy, it was real soft. And so I came out, and one of the things I noticed right away was that the shower door looks like it's been drilled right through the floor. Right there, that was a red flag for me. So what we did is I popped one tile and got down to the foam. It's a blue. Believe it or not, that's blue. And it looks like Kerdi. Thin fleece polyethylene membrane. And here's what tripped me out. So this is the base. And the foam is so soft, it feels like, to me it feels like, packaging peanuts or something. But that's the foam base that I believe is under it. Again, I can't quite remember exactly how this all went together, but we're down. Once I get through the foam layer, we get down to the OSB, and it feels pretty soft, the wood subfloor. So, okay, one thing I'm real curious to see is if what's happening under these two clips where the shower door guide drilled right through. Very beginning of bonded waterproofing. In our area, typically this would have been a hot mop, which the waterproofing would have been a couple inches below the mortar bed, which screwing a screw into mortar bed is fine, but the shower door guy probably wasn't used to this new system. I want to see if the waterproofing was penetrated by the shower door guy. So if you can see that, the shower door guy drilled right through the waterproofing layer. And again, I don't know if that's the cause of the failure that's causing all the water to get in here, but that's something I definitely wanted to show. Okay, so I'm going to pull this little plastic anchor out of here. You can see that's what's left there, a hole right through our waterproofing. So I'm going to go ahead and just take this little section out and see what we get. So it actually seems dry under here. I don't feel any moisture in the foam. So I don't think this is our point of water penetration, because this is really wet in here, and they stopped using this quite a while ago. So what we're going to do is we're going to just start tearing the tile off and work our way back to the drain, and we'll see what we find. Floor wants to come up now.
It's flexing. Woo.
So one thing that's nice about setting on a float or a mortar bed is you can do repairs. If this was regular wallboard or foam or anything like that, this would just get destroyed. Okay, so we got the tile layer off. We're down to we got some problems. If you come in here, why don't you come in closer, Steve? You can see it looks like the sealant that was used, I don't know if it's polyurethane, it's like a light blue sealant, but it just didn't bond. Let's see if everything's backed up. And actually that seal might have worked. This is where it looks like the flange. Let's see. Yeah, so here we go. So where the flange flap connected, it looks like the flap that came attached to the drain body is actually what delaminated. You can see we got, and this stinks really bad right here because it's just been leaking. So this was factory onto the flange of the drain, and it completely failed. And you can see that's where the water was coming through. The seam, it looks like the seam that I did where the main floor sheet bonded to the flap, that looks like it held. I don't see any water that came up through there, but it came up through, look at this. This is the flap that came factory attached to their drain, and it just completely failed. And this is the foam right here. Oh geez, look at that. Look at that.
Baby. Party time.
Oh man, we gotta be careful. We might fall through this whole floor. That's... Here, let me get a new blade on here. So here's our little foam layer. So it's... And I didn't build the sub base in here, but this is either particle board or, no, it's OSB. But look at that, it is just mush. Absolute mush. So there's a look at the foam. And this foam again seems really flimsy for one, but it wouldn't have mattered. I mean, look at this. So that's where it was. The factory seal on the drain flange is what failed. It wasn't from the shower door. It wasn't from anything but that. So I'm sure this is out of...
Easy.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what we're up against right there. Look at that. That's just complete mush. It's basically turned into dirt. This floor joist, look at this. This floor joist, look at this.
Oh, wow.
So the structural integrity of this whole floor is just gone. Completely destroyed by water damage. So this was on the forefront. Like I said, this was the very first system I'd ever even seen that was built like this. And I believe it worked out its kinks with their adhesive that they bonded their drain flange to. But if they can help the customer out, but again, 13 years, you know, at most it was a 10-year warranty. So, but yeah, I'm just continuing to pull. Look at this. That's all a fungal, white fungal growth on there. So this stuff, we should actually probably be wearing respirators. So this stuff isn't healthy to breathe. You know, it's, you can smell it. There's a smell on there. And this is a 4x6 girder, so we might even need to get into replacing this beam here. Yeah, look at that. That's the beam. So to what extent this extends maybe into the other room, we won't know till we get a little bit more out of here.
Turn the water off, Steve.
Alright, so you can see what happens when you get a little bit careless with the Sawzall. We hit this pipe right here, and this was a hot water supply. Whoever did the plumbing had it real close. It was right up against the bottom of the plywood. So I'm just going to cut it. If you're looking for a quick repair, because I'm probably going to have to replumb some stuff because we're going to reframe this. But if you want a quick repair, shark bite cap is really nice. So I'm just going to cut it back. Nice thing about the shark bites is you don't have to drain all the water out of the lines. It'll just it'll pop right on. Shark bites, they're just a friction fit, and that's a cap. And just make sure it's on there all the way, and that's going to stop the water. So I'll do this repair after we get the framing done. But as you can see here, we got quite a mess. This is the 4x6 beam. This supporting wood is rotted, so we're probably going to have to put a couple more concrete piers in here, and so that it can take the load of this beam while we splice it. And then I'm not exactly sure how we're going to address all this with the weight of the wall on there. This whole thing might need to come down, but we're gonna try to save it the best we can. So we're gonna let this air dry for over the weekend. It's Thursday, so we'll come back on Monday and start tearing some more stuff out and building it back up. So yeah, that's all of this mess happens from one little leaky part on a drain. So it's really important that you trust the products you're using, and you know, this goes to show they probably just didn't work out all their kinks before they, you know, started putting it out in the public. So yeah, that sealant that held the flange just completely gave way, and all the water just was leaking here. And this was 13 years ago, so that's what will happen. It's unfortunate, but we're going to get it fixed.